Hi, everybody. This is Kathy L. Murphy, the Pulpwood Queen, and I'm here in the home of Stephanie Chance in Gladewater, Texas. As you can see around me, I have all these wonderful things of hers from Italy that she has around in her home, and I am in my happy place because every time I come here, I feel like I've gone on a European vacation. So thank you for joining me. Stephanie is getting set up right now with her computer, and she will be joining us shortly. So I hope everybody is joining us pretty soon. As soon as she gets on here, I'll be talking about her books. But right now you can see one of the beautiful paintings behind me. Do we have, say, here we go. Are you barking, baby? Is that Verona? Verona, come here, Verona. Come here and say hi to everybody. This is Stephanie's dog. Come over here, come here, baby. Look at the camera, look at the camera. This is Verona. She's a standard poodle and she's beautiful. And she's got a sister that's here too, but Verona's the one that always comes and joins me. And you've got a piece of candy cane stuck in your in your ear, you crazy little thing. What? Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Stephanie's getting on board, and I am really excited. We just did a FaceTime live of doing a tour of her home. All of these are going to be shared on my Kathy L. Murphy YouTube channel after we get done. But we're going to be talking about her 3 books coming up, and she's getting online. And I just want to tell you, this is one of my dearest and best friends, and she lives 35 minutes from me. And every time I come over here, we have a lot of fun. We've got a special surprise at the end of this meeting because we're going to go into her kitchen and we're going to make something that I had for the first time when I was in Venice that Tony Falacci bought for me. I was so thirsty and I was just dying for anything with ice, because the one thing you learn about when you go to Europe, ice is rare. And you know, here in the United States, everything comes. Oh, we have that coming up. But for now, I'm just going to be drinking my bottle of water, my East Texas bottle of water. And I thank you all for joining me tonight on my Pulpwood Queen and Timber Guys online book club. We meet every Thursday night, usually at 7 o'clock, but she gave us a tour of her home first, which I've already got up on Facebook. I will also be adding that to my Kathy L. Murphy channel following it downloads and everything. So thank you all. I hope some people will jump on and join us, but if you don't, you can always go to the Kathy L. Murphy channel on YouTube and watch. I have over 50 videos up of where I've interviewed authors and done story times and different things. And I'm just very excited that the holiday season is here because it's my favorite time of the year. And she has on her tables, she's got these wonderful glowing lights in every color you can imagine. I just think these are adorable, and they change colors, and she has them all over her house. And anything that's magical and sparkly and shiny, I'm all for. And of course, she has these wonderful dishes filled, which I guess she went to Greece, and I went to Greece too. And there is a photo. Well, on this page is the count we got to have dinner with over here. And then the next page, we went totally Greek. Here I am and my friend Margie and Stephanie, and I love scarves. So I bought a ton of scarves in Sorrento, and we wore all our linen clothes and our scarves. Everywhere I go in the world, I try to pick up the outfits of that country because I love to celebrate other cultures and peoples and traditions, and I love going to learn about all the religions and all their festivals. And so this was a wonderful trip. There's our friend Lana and Stephanie. But it's a beautiful book, and I gave it to everybody for Christmas, and it's just got gorgeous pictures of everything that she's done.
I'm here, Kathy, but where is it?
Scroll down on the page and see where it says the link. Okay, it should be on one of the, I just posted, it was at the top, but keep going down, and it's on this side. You're going to see a message, and it's going to have the Zoom meeting link. There it is, Zoom meeting. Keep going, Okay, that's not it. What's this one? It's going to say a Zoom meeting. It was at the top of the page when I left the house. So I'm going to have you just jump over here with me. And we can, because see, there's plenty of room for us both to sit. That's a previous one. I don't know, Stephanie. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see that far. But Stephanie's going to come over and join him here on my computer. You can sit right here. And here's the book we're going to be talking about. It's Mamma Mia, America's Invade Italy. And this is, oh.
No, that's the first one.
It's Saints, Sinners, and Escapades is the name of her book, which is very catchy. Looks like it's been well read because
it's been in my tote bag.
And she's got the wonderful little Pulpwood Queen seal on the back. I'm really excited about that. So anyway, Stephanie, tell us about this book.
Oh, goodness. Well, coming up in May will be our 21st year, and we've always taken 2 to 3 groups of Americans on fairy tale adventures, zigzagging all throughout Italy, France, you're all over Europe. And when we started the tours, the Americans, the very first tour was May of 2000, and the Americans got into the most unbelievable stuff. I mean, Tony's my Italiano, he's from Sicily, Papa, and partner, and he said, Mamma Mia, this is unbelievable. The things they do or the things they say, he just could not believe it. And I mean, it was just amazing what people would get into. And people said, you've got to write this. You've got to put this in a book. You've just got to write about it. Well, I love to write. So that same group that went in May, we all turned around and we took them back again in September. And anyway, they just got into, Sandra Crow's one of them, and she's been going with me ever since, and she would get into stuff. So that's what brought the first book.
Well, the first book, the story that I just could not believe. She had this woman go on the trip, and she was so afraid that she was going to get pickpocketed or robbed. She put all her money in a bag in the crotch of this girdle she had.
Body girdle.
So tell what happened.
Yes, that was Sandra Crow went with me on that trip. She'd been going with me from the very beginning. And so Sandra said, Stephanie, if anybody needs to share a room, that I'll do that. I don't mind. I said, okay. So this lady calls, and everything. And she shopped some in my shop, Decorator Nate. So I put them together. And it's her birthday. So I planned her this big, beautiful birthday in Popolo's in Rome, Italy. Popolo's is on Via del Corso on Via Popolo, and it's a celebrity nightclub, not a nightclub. When I say nightclub, it's different than what you think of a nightclub in America. Beautiful restaurant, live music and entertainment. And all of a sudden, I'm skipping now the airport when we get to Dallas Airport. Because when we're let me back up just a little bit to give you just a tidbit of what happened. We get to the airport, we're standing in line, and everybody has to go through the detector. And when she tries to go through the detector, the lights start flashing. And so she has to hold her arms up, and they get the wand, and it starts beeping and everything. And the man said, something's not right, so he's doing everything to her. So she just gets frustrated and just takes her whole top off. And he's like, no, ma'am, please put your, your top back on. She had on a complete body girdle with Velcro here, Velcro here, Velcro in the crotch.
It must have wire stays in it or something.
Yeah. So anyway, while we're standing in line, she's telling Sandra, she said, you have to be very careful when you go to Italy because of all the serial rapists. And I'm not listening to any of this because I'm busy, getting everybody through security and everything. And Sandra goes, I've been traveling with Stephanie ever since she started the tours, and I have never seen a serial rapist. Never. And anyway, this is how this tour started. And she said, oh, yes, I'm a professional, world traveler. But she keeps her passport in here and her euros here and then her euros down there secured. So the story just progresses and I couldn't even put all of it in a book. But it's very interesting. You might say that her euros are floating in the aqueducts somewhere in Roma, Italy.
Yes, she forgot that she had hid them down there and went to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what happened to all the money she had?
She went to the bathroom at the birthday party, and you have to go down the stairs to the bathroom. So we're all waiting, and we're eating, and the music's going, and we're dancing and singing, and finally someone says, Stephanie, where is Gladys at? I said, oh, I don't know, she's been gone for a long time. Well, to go to the bathroom with the bodyguard alone is quite difficult. But when she was seated on the toilet, she just pulls it up. Well, she forgot that the euros were down there and they all went down in the aqueduct, but she didn't discover that till mid-morning.
And so she wants to go back.
Never.
No.
And being legalistic minded, when you go on my tours, everybody laughs because you sign a release of liability. And it's quite entertaining because I go into detail about if you've ever been on any psychotic medication or any strange behavior, you will come back.
Yes. But she's had some things happen. you just can't make up. But what happened with the latest book is the story that I'm in. We were going to the Mammamia church, which was on the island of Scopolis. And it's a mountainous cliff, and we're on this big bus, Mercedes bus, and it's, they say it's 2 lanes, but there's just no way. No, it's like we barely got around these curves, and one side of us is like sheer rock wall, and the other side is clear down into the Mediterranean, down. And, I'm looking out the window, I'm on the left side going, oh my goodness. But we come around, we've been doing this for about an hour, switchbacks, climbing, because we're going up to where this church is. And we can see it when we go around the curve, then we go around another one, we lose it. And we can see it, but we come around a corner, and all of a sudden, it looked like there were 3 bowling balls in.
Well, I'm on the microphone talking. We've got ABBA, the Mamma Mia music going, and everybody's singing and dancing, and on the right side is a solid rock wall. And then we're on the little narrow road zigzagging around, and on the left is the beautiful turquoise blue swirl water, the sea. So I'm telling everybody, look for the Mamma Mia chapel. It's going to be coming up, from the water. So everybody's singing and dancing, but they're all looking out the window. And, we keep doing this, and everybody's like, I'm like, look, I think that's it. Everybody keeps going, getting excited. And then finally, we're, like Kathy said, going around and around. And all of a sudden, Nino steps on the brake, and I'm on the microphone, and I'm like, oh, what is this? Oh, Mamma Mia, what is this? And Tony is seated behind Nino. Nino is my driver. And all of a sudden, it looks like 3 or 4 bowling balls moving around on top of the road.
It's
and then there's this little tiny, looks like a little Tonka, what do you call it? Like a little bulldozer, like a little dirt
at the side of the road.
Yeah, just right here, just dangling, just nestled. It looks like that it had to have been lifted from the sky to get there, because there's no way to turn. It's just a little tiny narrow road. Well, there's only about this much space between the bowling balls and the cliff and the rock, and then the other way goes straight down into the sea. So Nino stops, and Tony's like, Mamma Mia, Stefania, what is it? And I'm like, what are these bowling balls doing on the road? So he stops, because we have to stop or we'll run over them. And he opens the door, and I jump out. Nino jumps out. Tony jumps out. And then here comes Kathy and the rest of them. We're all running out there. And we look down, and it's not bowling balls. Are we going to tell them what?
Yeah, but there's a hole in the road, and it takes up the whole road. I mean, from the rock wall to a big giant hole, and there's these men in the hole with these black like hard hats, but they look
Hard
like bowling balls where we
Mhm.
were from. And they pop up and we go, what? I mean, there's no way to go around the hole. I mean, there's just a little area. And so we have been driving for an hour on switchbacks in this big bus. And so the only way back is backing up. And so I'm going,
Well, first though, I go, oh no. I mean, I'm hysterical now because we've got 3 people on the trip, Dr. Clark, and then Amy and her husband, and then Gina and Scott Raby. And I've convinced them that we all convinced them they need to renew their wedding vows. We told the men, oh, it would be so romantic. You know, we're going to the beautiful Mamma Mia church. It's so romantic. You need to tell Gina, you know, and you need to tell the wives, you know, that you want to renew your wedding vows. And they're like, really? I said, yes.
so we're going to do this at this church,
Yes.
you know?
So we've got 3 brides now ready, and they've already dressed, and they're anticipating renewing their vows. And I'm like, Tony, what are we going to do? We got to get to the Mamma Mia church. What are we going to do? And he said, Stefania, calm down. He said, calm down. He said, have I ever let you down? I go, no, but there's always a first, always a first.
I
And
didn't know how we were going to get out
so
of this.
anyway, I think it was Kathy. Kathy said, Stephanie, you said that the Mamma Mia chapel is just around the corner. And
Let's
I said,
just
yeah.
walk.
And so she said, let's just walk. And I'm like, brilliant, brilliant. So I start going, well, everybody get off, grab your cameras, grab your purse, whatever, all the wedding party, y'all grab your everything. We're going to walk. It's just around the curve. Tony's like, Mamma Mia, Stefania. He's like, Pazzo, you know, are you crazy? I said, Tony, it's just around the corner. It can't be that far. We've been coming here for 20 years. It cannot be that far. And so anyway, I'm all excited. And Kathy, we've got Margie.
We're picking wildflowers for bouquets for the wedding, and we get around the corner, and you know how, you know, it's kind of like when you're driving long stretches of road and you see like what water's in the road, and then you get up there and there's no water. It was like, it was just always out of reach, always out of reach.
But we could see the beautiful sea, the beautiful mesmerizing
It was the best day.
turquoise water, beautiful flowers growing on the left, growing on the right. So Kathy says, we need the bridal bouquets. Everybody just start picking the flowers. So we did. We started picking the flowers. And then finally Margie goes, Stephanie, in her beautiful Southern drawl. Can you talk like Margie?
Margie's from West Monroe, and she's just very Southern.
Very
But anyway,
Southern.
she said, yeah, okay, here we go. One of the other girls that was on my trip, one of my public queens, she goes, and guess what, Kathy, you and I are going to sing at the wedding. And I go, what? I'm not why would you involunteer me to sing? And I go, I sang in the choir in church, but I'm not a singer. She goes, we can do it. And I go, what are we going to sing? And she goes, The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face by Roberta Flack, because that's what they had at their wedding. One of the couples, and I go, that is not an easy song. So, you know, I'm not going to tell you anything more about how we got there, but we did get there. But the funny thing was, we went behind this little church, and Michelle and I practiced a cappella singing this song. And I'll never forget it as long as I live, because they did renew their vows, and we sang the song. And there was a Romanian television station there that somehow heard word of it, and they filmed it. And this farmer from England and his wife ended up coming. I mean, there were so many people there. And I look over at them, and we're singing away, you know, and they're crying. And I go, okay, this is the weirdest experience I've ever had. But I caught one of the bouquets, y'all, but I'm still not married. Nope. But they made me promise that if I ever get married again, I have to go to that church. So it's probably not going to happen.
No, we're going back. We're going back.
But if you ever get a chance to go on Stephanie's trip, you cannot believe the things. There's so many stories like this. The night we had dinner with the Count, and Margie got to dance with the Count, I never laughed so hard in all my life, because they really hit it off. And Margie is she's going to kill me for telling all these stories, but she's one of my best friends from West Monroe, Louisiana, and she is just one sassy woman. You know, she makes the Golden Girls look tame. But we just have a good time. And everybody I met on Stephanie's trips, they've become friends for life. We get together all the time at her shop, and we go to dinner, and we have Christmas parties together. And so you meet the best people. And but we've both been doing this 20 years, and now we've become best friends. I don't know what I'd do without Stephanie. She lets me put all of my art in her gallery with all the European doors. It's really incredible. But she works really hard on this book, and the research that she puts into the books on the the history and the religions and everything, it's very extensive. Right, Verona? Yes, you agree with me so much. So this dog loves me. But anyway, I look forward, as long as she keeps taking trips, she's go, oh, slurp, slurp, slurpy, slurping. She's slurping me. But but anyway, the more trips she takes, the more stories she's going to have. And the men on the trip, tell about the scarves, what we did on the bus.
Oh, okay. Cindy, on this is, we're going to do a shout out to Danny Boy. Danny is
Christy.
Christy
Borden.
Yeah, Borden. Christy Borden. We, her husband, they are the sweethearts. And Kathy, we started in southern Italy in Sorrento. And
I get these
then
scarves.
we went all the way over to Greece. And as we go from day one, Kathy starts finding these beautiful silk scarves, which they all come from northern Italy, because that's the silk factories where they make them, and Lake Como. And then they bring them down into the southern parts. But Kathy starts, every morning we get on the bus and she's wrapped and got all these beautiful scarves, and then wrapped in her head.
It's just a great way to change your outfits, and and they weigh nothing to put in your suitcase.
So when we're on our way leaving southern Italy, going all the way to the eastern side to Bari, Italy. And Danny's back there, and Kathy said, I need a model, because somebody said, Kathy, teach us how you do this. Teach it, because in southern Italy, especially in Sorrento and on the Amalfi, that is high fashion. Capri, the way Kathy wears the scarves, that is big, big fashion in southern Italy. So it's, Kathy takes it to a whole new, even the Italians are like, how are you doing that? So Kathy picks him out, on the bus, and he is going to be our model, Kathy's model. So she gives a demonstration on the way while Nino's driving, and we have the music going. And Scott Raby too. Scott and Gina Raby.
Not only just head scarves, but body scarves in different ways, skirts, and showing how you wear it as a sarong. And they got totally into it, and they walked the walk going down the bus. We would just laugh our heads off, and it was just a lot of fun. But every time I go, I come back with a suitcase full of scarves. Baby, you're knocking all the pillows off. So anyway, we have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and I've got my head is full of an encyclopedia of stories, because just think about it, going on 21 years, 2 and 3 groups of Americans every single year. This is our first year to ever not be there with our groups. And they get into the most hair-raising situations that they're all true. I changed the names to protect the guilty. And so I'm anticipating writing the next book. And it's going to be, it'll have a little bit, I think every time I write a book, it just comes out. But I've been inside the Vatican, studying inside the Vatican in the Sistine Chapel for many, many years. Tony's friend works inside the Vatican. He's been there for 58 years. So that's why I get the privilege of getting to go in and study by myself and look and study it. And I put in just a tiny bit in chapter 4 of this doctor. I call him Dr. Ray Bay, because I thought nobody will have that name. And he wanted to go on the tour as a special request if he could be with a monk. In other words, he wanted to go and observe. He wanted to see how they make the marmalade, how they live, how they produce, and how they survive. And he did that. And he was intrigued by Michelangelo and the Medici family, and how it all intertwines with the Vatican, with the Sistine Chapel, with Martin Luther, the Medicis, and Michelangelo. So I've been studying that, and it's all in my head, and it just comes out a lot of times. But I love to write, and picking the book and letting it be a December pick. And I hope everybody enjoys it. I've been getting emails already of people asking questions, and one of the questions was about Bari, Italy. What's Bari? You know, Bari, is that for real? Is that really where Santa Claus is buried? Yes, it's true. He's there.
It's the places that you get to go. First of all, when we went to Athens, and we went up to the
Acropolis.
Acropolis. What you don't realize when you watch these movies and everything, you see, you know, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you see all these things. But when you get there, what you don't realize is the day we went there, it was so windy. I thought we were going to blow off. Do you remember that? And I had on a hat, and I had to literally wrap a scarf around my head and tie the hat on my head so it wouldn't blow up. But I felt like the flying nun. Any moment, I was just going to go off the rock, you know. But it is amazing. You can read a million books, but until you go to the places that you read about and see it for yourself, and you see Michelangelo's David, and you see, you know, the beautiful churches and the basilicas and the gardens and the food. I mean, the food is so fantastic, and have the fresh squeezed lemon, you know, the homemade limoncello right there on the Amalfi Coast. We pulled off. We're on the way above the Mediterranean, and we just pull off, and they've got this little vendor, shaved ice with the limoncello and little spoons. And well, we got totally addicted to that because that was so much fun and so refreshing. But you look down at these cities like you see in these pictures, and it's just like that, only 10 times better, because you're actually in the water. The water is like the most gorgeous blues. And, you know, I came back with all these clothes. And the one thing about when we went island hopping in Greece, what I didn't understand was each island is known for certain things. Like one island is known for their pistachios. Another island was known for they have no means of transportation other than these little black donkeys. I love that. And then I went to another island, and all they do is sell designer clothes and jewelry. At the most amazing, Greece was in a real recession, and you could buy the most gorgeous. Margie and I had to go get another suitcase and bring all this stuff back, and we still talk about it. But you know, if you go, don't take anything but the clothes you've got on and maybe one other change, because by the time you come back home, I've done all my shopping for my clothing, or, you know, for the year, because you can buy the most fabulous things there. And, you know, and people ask me all the time, where did you get that? That's so cute. I go, oh, I got that in Sorrento, Italy. And they go, oh, you know, really? But everything, the dollar exchange is not that great for us, but the value of what you can buy with the euro is so much greater than what you can buy here in the United States. So you can buy a lot.
Every region of Italy is known for what it makes. You know, like when you're in Lake Como in northern, there's the silk factories, the beautiful silks, silk ties, silk shirts, just beautiful. And when you're in Budapest or Praga, you know, it's the furs, the beautiful furs and stuff. And then when you get down in southern Italy, it's the inlay woods and
the sunglasses.
the cameos.
I bought back. We went and got all those designer sunglasses, and my daughter goes, "Mom, you went all out." And I go, "Yeah, but you can get them."
That was during a recession in Greece, but you know, normally, you know, like people ask me about. People think when we go to Switzerland, they can buy a Rolex really, really cheap. No, it's the same price as it is here. Or, you know, like your Dolce & Gabbana, that kind of stuff, it's the same price. But it's some things you can find.
But there's lots. I have a favorite little store that I like to go to. The fish. It's got these little fish tags, and everything that they have is so colorful, and And you know, I'm a costume dresser. I like to wear costumes, so everything's, and Stephanie's brought me back things too. But the treasures that you can find on these trips. So save all your money and go, because once you go, then you're ruined for any other kind of vacation, because they're just work, and this is not. It's fun.
All you have to do is when you sign up for our trips is just get to the airport. If you live in a different state, I connect people from everywhere. I do everything. I take care of your airlines, everything. You just show up at the airport with your passport and your luggage and your euros that you want to spend on shopping, and everything's taken care of. We do everything. I'll even wake you up in the mornings. You don't have to have an alarm clock.
To tell you how well you're taken care of, when we were on this one island, and I mean, we were right on the beach. It's so beautiful. The pool, there's the pool, and then there's the beach, and it's just gorgeous. And Stephanie sees Margie and I getting out in the room. She goes, "Wait a minute." She goes, "What's your view?" And I said, "Well, we can see the ocean there's a building, but we can see it from each side." She goes, "No, no, 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 no." Next thing we knew, a guy with the golf carts coming and taking us, and we were right on the beach, so we could just see the whole view. And I was just like, it wasn't necessary. We had it was fine. But every place we stayed was just really fabulous accommodations. The food is fabulous. The wine is delicious. You know, everything's just so much fun. And the people who go are a lot of fun. So
you make lifelong friends.
Lifelong.
Lifelong friends.
Forever.
Yeah, we just bond together, and we meet people from all over the United States go. And this is the first year that Tony's not here. He and his family aren't here for Thanksgiving, and they leave right before Christmas. They stay usually 6 to 8 weeks. And we have people that fly in from, like Ann and Jeff, from Kentucky. They fly in and stay with us, and
we do K-Rack rides.
It's like a family reunion. We just, everybody, every year I get back in October for the last Italy tour, or France, or wherever we're at. And then the next week or two, that's when Tony comes in, and it's nonstop. He's either cooking here, people are coming in, and we just have fun. And I feel I can call Kathy if I need it. You make lifelong friends.
Tell about what Tony does when he first gets here, where he wants to go. The very first thing where he wants to go.
Yes, Walmart. He calls it Max Spencer, because in London, his wife is from Wales, England, Wales, and she's Welsh. And so in England, they call it Max Spencer, and that's a big department store, and he associates Walmart with that. But the first thing he does is, when we get to Walmart, gets the trolley. He gets on the trolley, and I mean, he's riding a little trolley everywhere, and he'll
spend like 4 hours
all day if he can, all day. So what I do is I let him out, and I'll say, "Tony, I got to go park. I come back home, or I go back to work, 4 or 5 hours later, I'll go back to Walmart, and he's usually in the grocery section, and he loves to get the canned goods and read them. He cannot believe that the Americans will buy a can of tomatoes, and we eat tomatoes out of a can. He calls it out of the tin. And then people that will come over there and grab stuff, the canned goods, he'll go, "Mamma mia." He goes, "What do you eat?" And if it's tomatoes or whatever, he'll go, "Mamma mia, don't eat it, basta, basta." He goes, "You're going to die, morto, you die," because he thinks that,
they pick everything fresh,
everything's by the season. They eat by the season over there. If it's not the season of it, you don't eat it. And he cannot believe that we get a loaf of bread, and I mean, he'll punch on it. And he goes back and he tells Nino, my driver, he goes, "Nino, it's unbelievable how the Americanos eat." He said, the penny, the bread. He goes, "Every day I push it. And he goes, "It goes in. It comes out. It goes in." He goes, "It doesn't get hard." And Nino's driving the bus, and he goes, I don't believe. He goes, yes, you asked Stefania. He goes, "You asked Stefania." He goes, "The bread never dies. Never.
Don't
He
tell
goes,
him about McDonald's hamburgers.
oh my God. So we had someone on the trip that was a nurse, and he's telling Nina, and I said, Tony, and I get on the microphone, I said, Tony is telling the story to Nino about the bread, because we put it in a loaf and we can eat on it for what, 2 weeks, a week or so. It's still good. And or put it in the refrigerator. Well, in Italy, they make bread fresh daily, because if after a few hours it's a rock, you can throw it and it'll break a window. Yeah, knock you out, kill you. But he just can't believe it. So Tony is telling Nino, he goes, yes. He goes, they inject the bread, they inject it. He goes, when you're morto dead, he goes, they inject you in America, where you're stiff like this and you don't move. I go, Tony, we do not inject the bread with, and I couldn't think of the name. So I'm on the microphone and everybody can hear us anyway. And we've got a nurse, and she goes, I go, what is that stuff called, that they
formaldehyde.
put? Yeah, formaldehyde. And I go, Tony, we do not put formaldehyde in the bread. And he goes, Mamma mia. He goes, what is formaldehyde? So then we get off on another subject. And anyway, it's quite entertaining just being around the Italians, around Tony, which he acts just like Rodney Dangerfield in the Sicilian version.
He's hilarious. And back in the 70s, he was like an Italian movie star.
He was in a movie.
But one day I got on the bus and I was getting ready to step on the step, and all of a sudden my head went back, like I was going, what's going on? He grabbed my hair and he was pulling it. He goes, I thought it was fake. I said, no, this is all my hair. He goes, and she snapped a picture, and my hair was a little bit longer than it is now, and it's pulling me back, and he goes, all this time I thought it was a wig.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I got a lot of hair.
Yeah, if you've ever watched Crocodile Dundee, do y'all remember? He wanted to know if that was a man and what he did. Remember that? Mm-hmm. The Italians are known for that. They're very, very inquisitive. They're very plain-spoken people, just Europeans especially. And
I never had anybody grab my hair before.
Know if something's real, they're going to grab it to see if it's real. So just beware of that. It's no big deal.
It's a hilarious picture. But we're going to do something really special. Is there anything more you want to share about your books? No. You can get them at Decorate Ornate.
Yeah, you can get them. They've been doing great. The English people in England loves these books. I have a lot of followers in England, and send us questions. Ask me questions. What's your favorite chapter? If you have any questions about the Sistine Chapel or anything like that, just send me a question. And thank you, Kathy, for choosing my book. It was such an honor. It's a great honor to know that the largest book club in America, over 900 book clubs, is reading my book for December.
She's exaggerating. We're not quite that big, but we're growing.
898 clubs.
But what we're going to do now is, when I was in Venice, I was parched. I mean, we've been walking all day long and it was hot. And he said, you've got to have this drink. They serve 3,000 of them a day in Venice. And I said,
Harry's Bar.
Yeah. And so I said, oh, what is it? And he said, let me get you one. So he got me one. It was the most delicious, refreshing drink I've ever had in my life. So we're going to take the laptop and we're going into the kitchen and we're going to make Kathy's version of this Venetian Aperol Spritzer. So come with us as we go into the kitchen and we prepare this drink for you, because we're not only going to be sharing with you all our stories, we're going to be sharing with you our recipe. And we partnered with this wonderful winery in Sonoma called Breathless Wines, y'all. And right now I'm going to show you, I have a bottle of Breathless wine, and we have our Aperol, which is this liqueur that I got in Dallas because you can't find it anywhere around here. And we're going to make this spritzer, and it's basically made with 1/3 Aperol, 1/3 I'm using this breathless wine, and they use soda. I'm actually, because it's Thanksgiving, Christmas time, I'm going to be using a sugar-free cranberry raspberry. And one of the things that they served it with is they put, my daughter made us homemade cinnamon rolls. They're sugar-free cream cheese cinnamon rolls.
Delicious.
And so I'm going to, I need some wine glasses. But when I was in Italy, we went in, and one afternoon we had one of these, and they served it with olives, homemade potato chips, and these mixed nuts. So I just grabbed this jar of Mediterranean olives when I was at World Market, when I was up in Dallas visiting my daughter. And I'm going to make this for you. And the one thing I was going to pick up that is such an East Texas treasure for all of you out there, they serve this over ice. It's the only drink I've ever had in Europe that came with ice. And I was going to stop at Sonic and because here in Texas, we love Sonic ice. I mean, it is but I forgot to get it. I was in a hurry coming over. So we're going to show you how this is done. So I'm going to uncork this champagne, and I just need a couple glasses. And I've got to get my little towel here. I've gotten pretty good since we've been partnering with Breathless Wines on popping this cork. So I found if you get, how beautiful. See, and look at this beautiful fog. So get a couple glasses, and I'm going to, let's cut this one. I'm going to cut some orange wedges. Now, when I had the drink in Italy, they put the biggest green olive, and it was like neon green, that I have ever seen in my life. They put a green olive and an orange slice on the drink. And so we're going to do that. These are the strangest looking oranges. Well, we'll make it work. But anyway, we're going to take, first of all, we're going to pour a little bit. Wait a minute. There's a little something. Oh, it's on the outside. Okay. So we're going to take some wine glasses. We're going to pour, you do it in thirds.
Can you see?
So that's a third. That's a third. We can always add more later. Then we're going to take the breathless wine. I just eyeball it, y'all. Like that. And it's the most wonderful neon color. And then I'm adding this sugar-free,
it's good,
cranberry raspberry drink. Okay, and we're going to do this. We're going to get a wedge. We're going to put a little wedge here. And then, Stephanie, if you'll just set it down for just 1 second. Let me get another wedge. This knife is not the sharpest knife in the house, but let me get another wedge. And normally I'd drop a big old orange or olive in there, but we're not going to do that today. But we are going to do this, and we're going to, with our Aperol and our breathless wine, we're going to cheers to all of you. Merry Christmas to one, and Merry Christmas to all, to my best friend Stephanie Chance, Aperol Spritzer. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's see.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. Very good, y'all. Thank you for joining us. This will be up on the Kathy L. Murphy YouTube channel after it downloads. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week for our next week's author. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, I'm doing a special Zoom meeting with Dr. Afshan Nahid Hashmi, who is of iHeartRadio. She has 2 books that she's going to be talking about. She runs a book club. and she has millions of followers on her channel. She had me on a radio show, and now I'm going to have a special host with her talking about her 2 books. So at 4 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be posting the Zoom on my International Pulpwood Queens and Timber Guys channel. On Saturday, all day long on The Right Review is Annie McDonald's, who is the blogger moderator for The Right Review and The Right Review Book Club. It's her birthday. So at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, I'm inviting all my Pulpwood Queens to join me on that page, because we're going to be wishing her a happy birthday. She's up in New York, and she's been sharing. She'll be featured, her panel will be featured at our annual book club convention in January. And then Saturday night, you guys, I have the most amazing author, Marcy Henna, Austin, Texas author, who wrote a book called What Lies Ahead. Her movie just debuted on Amazon Prime when we last spoke. This movie just is so fabulous. I can't even tell you how much I loved it. It's a very nostalgic film, and I think you're going to love it. You can watch it on Netflix. When we last spoke, Marcy wrote it, and I will tell you that it's an incredible story. And she will be at 7 o'clock or 6:30 for our pre-show, and then we recommend everybody watch it on Amazon Prime afterward. You can rent it for $4.99, and it is a fabulous nostalgic film starring Melissa Gilbert from the Little House on the Prairie days. It also has Cloris Leachman, and Corbin Burnson is in it, plays her husband. Fabulous story set in the South, and you'll love it. So thank you for joining me. Happy holidays to one and all. Isn't this pretty?
It's delicious.
It's really good too. Bye for now, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Ciao.